I'm Joe.
And I'm Ben.
And we're the Bourbon Boys. Let's pour a glass. All right, welcome back to the Bourbon Boys. Glad to have you back again. We're going to try something a little different. Again, we have a guest here tonight. This is my son, Nolan.
Woo. Hello.
So we're not going to give him a shirt because he already has it.
I actually made this one myself, so I think they still owe me one. But
we've been waiting to get Nolan on. He's been off at school, and we haven't been able to get him on the show, but he's home here visiting. So we're going to have a little different episode. As you can see, we have some different glasses out here.
Yes, we do.
And on the table, we have Old Elk. There's Sour Mash bourbon. This is batch 2. So we like this. We've had this before. Nolan's had this before. He really liked it. So that's why we've been kind of holding this back for him on the show. Now, what he did though, well, we have 3 up here. When we're going to taste them all. Nolan had this, and he was out where?
I was in South Carolina.
In South Carolina.
South Carolina.
And he came across a bottle that looked like this.
Ooh.
Which is Old Elk, which is their blended whiskey, blended bourbon. And he thought, oh, that was so good. And he thought it was that. And not that there's anything wrong with this, but it is not the same bourbon as this Sour Mash Batch 2. But he was nice enough to bring by himself a bottle and me a bottle.
And
he brought it back.
Too.
Yeah, I brought
3. Yeah.
I got excited.
He got excited. He bought 3 bottles of it and brought it back for us, which we greatly appreciate.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, Nolan.
Of course.
And then we had to break the news to him that this was not the same bourbon as he had tried previously. But since then, they've come out with batch 3. So we're gonna throw them all up here today and try them out and see what we got. So I don't know which one we should start with. That's why we got some small glasses. I can't sit and drink 3 full glasses of bourbon.
No,
and I have to you know, make it home at some point in time.
me too.
But so Old Elk, just we're gonna pour here. I'll talk a little bit about it. Is I believe this is all their own. They started sourcing it from 3 different places. This one has Greg Metz on the front, who used to be the master distiller at MPG, and not surprisingly, a lot of their starting bourbon that they started their blend when they first came out until they got their own stuff up and running was from MPG, but was also sourced from a distillery in Colorado and I think New York also. And they blended them together to come out with their first batches. But I think in 2018 or 19 they started releasing their own juice that they distilled themselves.
Juice.
That's what you call it.
Right. It's juice, right? So he went in and it's a conglomeration of a couple people, but Greg Metz is kind of the guy I think who's packing most of the distilling. So this is about $50 a bottle, right?
Yep.
Well, since you purchased 3 of them. Is that right?
Yeah, I did.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
it was about 50. Yeah, it was $48 or $49, so right around the $50 mark.
It smells nice.
It smells very good, yep.
And it is a tasty bourbon.
It's good.
Pretty good.
There's no question. It is a tasty bourbon. So this is a blend. So I don't know exactly what all goes into blending. From what I understand, I think they still get some bourbon from New York. They distill in Colorado. I don't know if they're using MPG stuff anymore or if they have stockpiles of it still that they're still blending in. I'm not sure. But I don't know what the mash bill is on this. But keep that one separate. So we're going to pour a little bit of batch 2 here.
All right.
So batch 2 is a Sour Mash Reserve. Now this is their high, not rye, malt mash bill. So unlike most bourbons, very different in that they have a 51% corn on this, and it's 34% malted barley. Which is very unusual for these. So I don't know, then the remaining being rye. So you can see the color difference. I don't know if you can see
darker.
it in this, but it's a much deeper color. And I believe this is aged 6 years. This does not have, this is at least 4 years, I believe, but it doesn't have an actual age
5.
statement on. Is it 5 now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Those have an age.
5
It's
years.
got a 5-year age
Just
statement.
here.
All
I
right.
just read it from over here.
Well, there you go, a 5-year age statement. Now, Greg Metz kind of did something different. A lot of people scoff at the term smooth, but when he made this original blended one, his idea was to make it as smooth as possible. That's what he put out there all the time. And I can't argue that it's not very smooth sipping whiskey. Now, it's only 88 proof, so it's not like it's packing a big punch, but it does pack quite a bit of flavor. But it's nothing that's going to wow you, right?
No.
I mean, it's good
I think
bourbon.
it's definitely
Yeah.
it's definitely good, but it's not.
Middle of the line.
Yeah.
It's a good tasting quality bourbon that delivers more flavor than an 88, most 88 proof bourbons, I would say.
Now that one
But
Two.
this
is so much better. You just sit and have them side by side. Oh, it's so much better.
Bam. Now that brings some pop.
Yeah,
I really love that.
I do too. It's
you
a much
can-
it's a much deeper flavor.
Deeper, more layered, just hits you with flavor. Now it does come in at 105 proof, so you're going to get that. But
Get more.
there's no burn to that. It is
No.
a soft drinking bourbon. So we're gonna this batch 3. Now the downside to these is that they are $90, at least here in Ohio,
And hard to
I
find.
think- and hard to find. They pop up here and there. You can find this in a lot of places most of the time. This is pretty readily available. These two are limited. These are limited releases. Obviously, you won't get batch 3 again because it's gone
Yeah.
off the shelves, or batch
That's it.
2. I never saw batch 1 or had a chance to try batch 1, so I
That's it.
couldn't speak to that one.
I don't know about up here. I mean, I go to school in Lexington, and you can get the Old Elk anywhere. But I would say there are just as good of bourbons for a cheaper price point than the blended.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
So I'm gonna dip into this one. I don't think Penn has sampled this one, and I know no one hasn't sampled this batch 3. I have had it a little bit. I gotta be honest with you. From my memory, I think the batch 2 was better. But still very good.
Color.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to compare with.
Because they're different size glasses,
Yeah.
so it is a little hard to tell.
No clear, distinct difference in the color. I like that one better. It's not as sweet.
I think
I like 2.
I like 2. I think the 3 has more grain flavors to it. Like
Do
I
you
said,
know the mash bill of the 3?
it's the same.
It's
It's
the
the
same,
same.
okay.
It's the high. It's the high
Malted.
malted barley.
Okay.
I think the batch 2, I'm just getting those deep malty kind of, and some deep fruit flavors on the nose, like red fruit. I would maybe apples,
I'm getting like floral, like very light.
a little floral on there, and I'm just getting more grain on the.
And the reason I asked, because that kind of reminded me of a rye.
That's what I
Batch
thought too. I like
which
rye.
is good. It's very good, but
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with either one of the 2 or the 3. I think that's more of a personal preference.
Yeah.
yeah.
We can't add ice, obviously, to these because we just got little glasses. But we'll try a little bit of ice in the batch 3 and see if that changes it up a little bit.
Got a little change.
So yeah, $50 for this one. It's a good, solid bourbon, and it will appeal to a lot of people. It is smooth, for lack of a better term. It's
Yeah.
soft drinking.
Yep.
And it brings some good flavor, but it's not gonna wow anybody. It's not. There's nothing about it that pops to me. Yeah, that did not.
Didn't change it much.
Yeah, not too much.
I think it just muted it. Well, anyway, we're going to take a little bit of time now, and we're going to discuss this some more between us. and sample all three of them. We've never done three like this before, but my son's first time on the show, and I'm pretty sure we'll have
Very
him
excited.
back
So.
again. He brought his. So we own no horses,
No,
cattle,
never.
No.
or anything like
Since
that.
he goes to school in Kentucky.
Yeah.
He loves his cowboy hats. How many do you own
Got
now?
3 now.
3.
Ooh.
One was a gift. So.
All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna finish this off and maybe tease my son a little bit, and we'll be back with our final thoughts in just a minute. So we finished all these, no problem. Enjoyed them quite a bit. We're gonna kind of rank these a little bit. So we're gonna start with the blended one here, which is again 88 proof, and it says straight bourbon, blended bourbon whiskey. Now this is bourbon, even though it says blended. It has to be blended because it's made in different states, and they blend those together. So it's just a little weird technicality. I will say this, as we were talking about while we were drinking, they do have really cool bottles, right? These stoppers, these like wooden.
It's
looking-
antlers.
Oh,
it's elk antlers.
Elk antlers.
Yeah.
Like for real? For real?
Yeah,
No, it's not. No, they're made out of cork, but
they're
they'd be pretty
pretty
cool though.
But they're very nice bottles, and I can see where Nolan could mistake one.
Yeah,
for the
they look
other
very
because
similar,
They look
yeah.
exactly the same, and they also have other versions. They have a wheat and a rye that they have also, which I haven't tried those. But today we're just looking at this one here. So it's 88 proof. This is not bad. This is very, to me, average tasting
Yep.
bourbon. Not going to remember it. I think the price tag of $50 to me
Is a little high.
is
Yeah.
high.
I think it's very average tasting, and you can get average tasting bourbon for $20. And
I'd give it a 2.5, which is kind of our middle ground on our 5-point scale. So 2.5, very average. I'd give it a value though of probably 1.5. I mean, maybe 2, because it is decent tasting, but it's just overpriced.
Yeah. I agree.
You really like those numbers?
Yeah, kind of with those numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking a 2 for the flavor and like a 2 for the value too. So
Yeah.
right around there.
Yeah, it's nothing special. It's nothing bad.
Yep.
You could serve this to anyone, and they would enjoy that
Sure.
and drink it and not complain. But it's not going to wow anybody.
Right.
It's not gonna be anybody's favorite.
No, I don't think
No.
so.
So then you have this one, number 2. So out of these two, these are both the batches 2 and 3. These sour mash batches are, I think, superior bourbon.
This might be somebody's favorite.
This might be his
It
favorite.
might be my favorite.
But 2 is these two. I prefer the number 2 here. I think it has some deeper flavors, but it's just a personal preference. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer that. They both, I think, said the 2, and I prefer the 3. It came off more kind of like a rye, which is something that I enjoy more.
I just think this one had some deeper flavors. I like the fruit kind of profile, and it's not overpowering fruit flavors. It's just kind of in the background. You get these really nice malty notes in them, and I just think it delivers a lot of flavor. This one, the number 2, I just get kind of an appley, kind of maybe plum flavor.
I think
Yeah.
caramely.
in there.
It's the best way I can describe
And
it.
a little-
almost caramely.
And
Caramely
caramel
for 2,
also,
definitely.
right, for 2, and I get that deeper, sweeter little flavor, and in the 3 I was getting a little more like grain sweetness in it, and it was, but still with the malt. The flavors that I'm talking about here are the undertones, really under the malt, which rides above the other flavors that I really enjoy.
Yeah, and
But-
I mean side by side, they taste very different. But I think if you were, if you had one day and one the next day, you probably
You might not.
you
side
might
by
not
side,
know.
right?
Yeah, side by side you can taste it, but they're both very good.
But so now we added ice to these two, not to this one. The ice didn't help that. It didn't bring
No.
out any flavors to me. I think it muted it a little bit and cut back some of the flavor. They're easy sipping. They're 105 proof, which is not crazy high, but it's a higher proof.
Higher, yeah.
I thought they drank. So Mr. Metz here, I guess, looking for an easy sipper. These are easy sippers.
Yeah.
It's super enjoyable, I think, and better neat than watered down, in my opinion.
I agree, and I definitely put ice in my bourbon more than either of you guys do, and I think I would rather have either of them without the ice.
Yeah.
Definitely just kind of killed the flavor.
The specialness of
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
So, but now these both $90 to me. is on the high side.
It is a little high.
I mean, you're getting a superior bourbon, but and for me, if you're spending $90, you expect it to be something that brings something extra, and this does. I can't say it's a great value. I can't say you're getting ripped off with it either.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm going to rush out and buy every bottle of this that I see.
Right. I think. Yeah.
Well, if you see them,
Right.
I'm saying as a college student, if I came across this, I might buy it once, and that's probably the one time that I'd have it and save special occasions and things.
And that's what I was gonna say too. Is that like I've got one, so I have the batch 2. That's mine. I'm good. It's good. I'll really enjoy drinking it, but I don't think I'm gonna try to
When
track
it's
any
gone,
other one.
you
Be track-
might get
yeah,
another
be
one.
tracking it
Yeah,
down,
maybe
so
if I
Maybe,
see
maybe
it.
not.
if you ran across one,
Yeah.
Right, $90 it's high.
It's high.
There's some other ones that we probably like better than this that are actually a little cheaper. Not a lot cheaper, but a little cheaper. A little cheaper that we think are better. But at $90, so I would give this one probably a 4 on the flavor. I think it's a superior level drink. On value though, I think you are getting a superior bourbon. I just don't know that the value is that great. You're getting what you pay for, $90, and it's better. It's not a great value, but it's not a horrible one. So I give it a 2.5 on that either, right in the middle of the road. You're getting what you pay for, I think, on it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a 4 and a 2, 2.5.
I think on the 2, I would do like a 4.5, and the 3 a 5. I think these are probably I haven't had the opportunity to try as many bourbons, but these two are definitely my favorites that I've tried. And I would say the price probably is like a 2.5. I think it's fair. It's not a steal. You're not getting like a great deal, but it's not unreasonable either. So
So for taste, I'd give both of them a 4. I did prefer the 2 a little bit more, but again, it's so close. I mean, they're so similar. I mean, I did prefer the 2, but they're both 4s in my book. And then with the value, 2, 2.5, it is a little pricey. If this was in like 70 range,
If Nolan was right and it was $50
that would be
for these, and I would give that a 4 on the
That'd be
value
a steal.
also. It would
Absolutely.
be very nice. If
Yeah.
you could buy these for $50, I would say definitely get them because it's definitely worth $50.
for sure.
$90, you're not getting ripped off, but you're not getting a steal.
Yeah, and it's under that $100 threshold that we seem to like to stay under.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
one less digit's a lot easier to validate.
And one thing that we talked about while we were off camera that I didn't mention is, so the people call it the mouthfeel. I like to call it the texture. I don't like saying the mouthfeel. It seems creepy. But the texture of these here, this is a little white. It's 88 proof. These have just a nice, rich, I say creamy. Some people say oily, where it coats your mouth, and it's just a pleasure to sip on it. It just gets a nice, I say, creamy kind of a feeling.
Yeah. I think
when
that's
you
it.
sip on it. So
It's a good way to describe it. I don't know how else to.
Yeah.
I don't know what other adjective to use.
if you like that, it's very nice. And that's all we got right now. And thanks for tuning in for our first 3-1 here.
Let us know if you like this style. We've got a lot of stuff that we could do this with.
Right.
Comparative things.
Multiple bottles, yeah. From the same company.
So until next time, thanks for tuning in, guys.
We'll see you.